volume. Make sure I have my volume up. Okay, volume up. Hello, hello to all of my motivators family. How are you doing? I'm Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. And today I wanted to come on with a topic about just exhaustion in general. And I know I'm not the only person. I know that many people are experiencing this just like me. And we're going to talk about those who are suffering from burnout, like myself, and some of the things that we can do to not eliminate it, but alleviate it so that we can be our best self because we love ourselves, right? Motivators family, we love ourselves and we always try our best to do the things that is good for us. So let's get into it, shall we? Today, we're going to be talking about burnout. And burnout is something that almost every single person experiences on all different types of levels, whether you're a mother, a father, a sister, a auntie, a cousin, a friend, whether you're full-time employed or you have your own business, everybody experiences burnout. It's a normal thing, but we want to talk about some of the things that we can do so that we can not eliminate, but alleviate some of that burnout, some of the tools, some of the tips, some of the tricks, so that we don't get to that point where we just shut down, just like when the phone gets hot or a phone gets overly, used and it just shuts down. We don't want to get to that space and that zone, motivators family. And I'll tell you because I experienced that a few years ago. I was going through a lot of things in my life and I was just saying yes to everyone. And my body just said, no, no, ma'am, and it shut down for a few days. So I don't want you all to go through that. And I was looking through some of my notes in my journal and I said, this is a perfect topic for the Motivators family. So here we go. Welcome to everybody. I hope everybody had a good Tuesday. You had a refreshing weekend, and here we are. So let's get into talking about this. Suffering from burnout. Are you suffering from burnout? Are you going through some things in your life to where you have burned out? Sometimes we may not feel like we have burned out, but you just may say, I'm tired. I'm going through something. I'm dealing with a lot of things. Yes, all of which that is true. We all go through things, but what are some things that we can do to help us with that burnout? The number one thing that I'm definitely going to say is those boundaries. I was going to bring up boundaries, right? Boundaries are something that most of us don't like to put in place. I don't like to tell people that I love that I can't be available, but it's something that we have to do because we love ourselves. And it's also helpful to other people because when you don't set boundaries, people get frustrated because you have not spoke up and told what you like, what you don't like. So on both sides, boundaries are good for both parties. It's good for other people because they know what to expect from us. And it's good for us because we know our limits and what we want to do. So that's the first thing that I would say is setting some boundaries. And what are some of the boundaries that you have, Motivators family? For me, it's not having my phone on after I have already got in my bed. That's just not going to happen unless it's an emergency. There's only certain people that I will pick up the phone for after a certain period of time, and you have to set those boundaries. And the same thing happens with the job. I don't know about you all, but the workspace can be so demanding, and it's like they always want to reach you. They always want more. They always expect more. So even at a job, we have to set boundaries so that we don't experience burnout. And I know for a lot of people, just like myself, things have gotten so expensive at cost of living, eating, taking care of your family, everything has gone up but our salary, right? So we have to do what we have to do in order to survive. But at the same time, we don't want to be a workaholic, right? It's all work and no play makes you miserable. And we don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be miserable. And I'm sure that you don't as well. So we have to put some things in place for ourselves so that we don't experience that burnout. Hi, Glenda. How are you? Yes, I am. Thank you. Um, that's one of the things that we have to talk about, and that is that thing about jobs, and jobs can be so demanding. Hi, Garden of Inspiration. How are you doing? How's everybody doing in the chat this evening? I hope everybody had an awesome day. That's one of the things that I always say all the time. We have to work, right? We have to survive. We have to take care of our families, but at the same time, we have to have some sort of balance when it comes to this life. We don't want to be that workaholic, because you know what happens to a workaholic? They get tired, they get burned out, and when you get burned out, you get replaced. So that means that even on the job, you have to have some time that you spend with your loved ones, and the time that you spend with yourself, your solo time, your spiritual time. It's the time for us to rejuvenate ourselves. And I think that's what happens a lot of times to many of us. We are not taking the time to motivate that too, but to rejuvenate our mind, our body, our spirit, and our soul, because we are all spiritual beings. We all, based on whatever it is that you believe, we all need to tap into something to be able to be sustained, because we can't do it on our own. Okay. So I will say that when we talk about burning out, most of the time it's usually a balance that is not being put in place, right? We're not being balanced and doing the things that we need to do. So I would say this, after setting those boundaries, number two is making sure we have a support system, a support team of people that will pour into us when we don't know how to pour in to ourselves. Garden of Inspiration says, I'm doing well. How are you, Marlene? I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope that everyone is doing well. Yes, yes. I hope everybody is doing well. And that's one of the things, is that if you have people in your life and they're toxic, controlling, jealous, a using person, you don't have to say it here in the chat, but I know how many of us have people in our life that are takers. No matter how much you do for them, how much you give to them, is they always want more. They're always, if you do that, well, couldn't you do this? And couldn't you do that? And if you don't, why don't you do it? And those are the sort of individuals that will contribute to us burning out. But nobody can make you burn out until you make that choice to keep going. That's something that I have to constantly remind myself. I even put it on my schedule, and I would recommend that to all my motivators family. Put it on your schedule, a time to rest, relax, and rejuvenate yourself. So the relaxation time is just the normal, to unwind your mind from your day and relax your body. Okay. You know, listening to some soft music, or just a peace and quiet, whatever that means for you, because everybody is different, but you have to do things to relax your body. Sometimes it's going for a walk, or being out in nature, or just peace and quiet, being by yourself. There's a lot of things that we can do to unwind. And I think I get so exhausted and so stressed out when I don't do that for myself. It's like all you're doing is you're at home, you're at work, you're at home, you're at work, and there's no balance. It's off completely, and we can't be in that space to allow ourselves to burn out completely. Okay, you are going to burn out a little bit, because we're human and we get tired. But when it gets to the point where you're exhausted and you just feel like you want to fall down, or you just want to drop into the bed and go to sleep, now you are experiencing some burnout, and we need to do some adjustments. So it's just a gentle reminder, and just some encouragement for us to do better. Remember, we only get one us, right? You get one you. So the you that you have while you're here, you deserve to live your life in peace and calm and to feel rested and relaxed, okay? Hi, Sirius. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great day. And I think that that's so important to everybody. Um, Making sure that you find that work life balance. I'm not saying to people who Marlene is saying be lazy and just relax all the time. No, I'm saying you have to know yourself and you have to schedule times to, I call it time to deflate, time to relax, and time to reset. You're having an amazing day. Yes, I am too. Thank you so much, Sirius. Glad you're here. I appreciate every single one of you support because I couldn't do this channel without you. This is your channel. I've said that many, many times. This channel started off being about me, and yes, some things that I share is my experiences, but this is mainly your channel, my motivators family, what you guys need, what I'm feeling in my spirit. So I'm always open to suggestions on topics that you want me to cover because it's your channel, okay? And I got this recommendation in an email, so here I am covering it, okay? And experiencing burnout is something that usually probably about halfway through the year you feel that burnout, but it can happen way before that 6 month period of time. Yes, we're in February, but if you have been burning the candle at both ends, if you have just been working, or you have just been doing so many things for so many people, family, friends, job, your home life, when are you allowing yourself to reset and to be okay, motivators family? This is a very important question that I want you to think about through the course of today's topic. What am I doing so that I don't allow myself to burn out? What are you doing? Okay, I want you to think about those things, and if it's something that you would like to share, feel free, put it in the chat. Okay. Another thing that I think is very important for us to talk about when we talk about burnout, I know I burn out when I'm taking on other people's problems, like thinking about it, worrying about it. How can I find a solution? How can I help them? And naturally, we're always going to worry about something because you have your bills, you have this, you have responsibilities. But what I mean is worrying is over worrying about what this person and what that person, and they are a grown individual. So while we care about people and we love them, we also have to be balanced with that too, because we will be worrying about people who aren't worried about themselves, who needed that message today. We will be worrying about people who don't worry about themselves. And I found myself in that perpetual cycle of always worried, oh, I got to do this for them, I got to do that because they're not doing it. You know, something we have to learn, motivators family, is do not volunteer yourself, okay? Do not volunteer yourself to help others unless somebody has asked for your help. And even that, there's a balance. Unmasking purpose, definitely need prayer. I'm facing burnout. I'm so sorry to hear that. Unmasking purpose, definitely you will be in prayer. Hey, realist one, how are you doing? Welcome. Um, this is something that is so important, and I wanted to share this with everybody because this was something that I know it's not just me as a woman. I know so many are struggling with burnout, trying to, just keep it together. But, sometimes to keep it together, you have to do some evaluations. What am I doing that's causing me to feel this way? You know, And this is another point that I want to talk about is delegating, okay? Delegating instead of being a micromanager. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you are. I'm just talking about myself, because I was a person who was a sort of perfectionist. I wanted to have things this. I wanted it exactly how I wanted it to be. And when we are that way, we're trying to do everything for ourselves. We're trying to do everything for other people, and you're going to burn out very quickly. You have to give people back their business. When my therapist told me that a few years ago, I was very upset because I was like, but I'm just being nice. I'm just being kind. Yeah, that may be true. You may be kind, but if there are things that you're doing that other people in your life can do for themselves, let them. Whether it's your children, it's your spouse, it's your significant other, it's a friend, it's the job. You can't always show up for everybody and never show up for yourself. Okay? Take it from me. Okay? Take it from me, because I did that for such a long time. And when I say I burned out, I burned out. I couldn't even get out of bed. I had worked myself when I say thin, I worked myself thin because at that time I was working 12-hour shifts. Okay. And I was doing 12-hour shifts back to back, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12 hours. And I think once I got to like I don't know, I don't even know what day I was on. Something like the 6th or the 7th 12-hour shift. You know what happened? My body said no more. And I was in bed for a few days. So when we don't do that, we not only mess our money up, okay? Hey, Eastad, how are you doing? Welcome. And let's see. Sirius says, that's me even now. I'm learning to do that, Marlene. I think all of us, Sirius, to be honest, many people don't want to be completely honest. There's a lot of people, they walk around with this plastic smile. Oh, everything is great. Everything's perfect. But what it is, because I vibrate on that level with certain individuals, because you can't let other people know when you're down. The ones that are, the frenemies, the smile in your face, stab you in the back type of individuals, and you know who they are. When you notice those individuals, you have to do something about it. You don't tell your business to those individuals, but for the most part, okay? For the most part, try your best to stay in your lane and to think about what you want. Think about the things that you honestly need, okay? And I wish you all the best in that. Garden of Inspiration says, nature and scripture restores my mind, body, and soul. Yes. And I'm sure that it does that for so many people. Okay. I wanted to share some of the things that help me to restore my mental health, because when our mind is not in a good space, the rest of us follows. When your mind is exhausted, your body gets exhausted, and your spirit gets exhausted. It's all combined because it's a part of our overall well-being and our wellness. So something that I want to talk about and tell you all, when you have PTO, when you have that time off, even sometimes when you don't be afraid to take time and just be by yourself. And I mean completely unplug from everybody. I mean even from people, somebody you're in a relationship with, even from a friend. Sometimes you have to take that time and unplug and become unreachable. You have to be unreachable with so many people so that you can be available to assist other people. Okay? You have to take care of yourself. Realist says, folk get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I know that's right, Realist. And I'm there with you all, I'm human. Just because I have a channel about motivation and inspiration doesn't mean I don't get overwhelmed, bogged down by problems, and looking at bills coming in the mail. I understand, I feel it. And problems and people in our life is the negative people. It just is very, very frustrating to deal with so many individuals. But you do have to, even sometimes when you can't afford it, sometimes you do have to make that phone call and call in for your mental health, okay? You do have to turn your phone off. You do have to block a lot of individuals, okay? Yep. And that helps. That helps because the reason sometimes why we feel all these things going on in our mind is other people um um I'm trying to say, not portraying. You're feeding off of other people's negative energy. Okay. Yep. That's good, Eastside. I'm glad you take the time to reflect. That's a good thing. And I want all of us to do that. Every single person should take time and reflect. It's good for your mental health, okay? And don't let other people stop you from doing that. I know a lot of individuals from all different walks of life, all different types of socioeconomic status, and it's all the same. We're all humans. We all go through things. We all have problems. But at the end of the day, it's how you are coping with it. Mm. That's the solution, motivators family. How are you coping with your life? How are you coping? And sometimes we are not coping in a good way. Um, it's usually the majority of human beings when we're going through something, you bring it inward, you keep it to yourself, and you suffer. And that's not the way. I mean, yes, you cannot tell everybody when you're going through things because there's people who are waiting and watching for your downfall and negativity so they could laugh and talk about you behind your back or sometimes in your face. Yeah, there are people like that. But at the same time, you have to have people in your life that are your safety net, you know, that when you need to fall, you can fall back or fall forward and they're going to catch you or they're going to listen to you or they're going to encourage you. See, iron sharpens iron. It's very important to have a supportive community. No woman or no man can do it on their own. It may be the reason for discouragement, feeling down, for lots of things, and for the burnout. Because when you're going through something, even when you feel burnout and somebody gives you a call and says, I was just thinking about you, doesn't that lift you up? It raises you up, your mind, your heart, your spirit. I feel so good when I have a great friend, a loved one that says, I was just thinking about you. I hope you're okay. So if you don't have individuals like that in your life, you need to find some, okay? And it does not have to be a relative. Notice I didn't say family because family is who you make it. Family is who you make it. Not all relatives are family, okay? Hmm. Let's see what Realist says. Realist says manifest and protect that at any cost. Yes. You have to protect your energy. You have to know who you are. You have to realize when you're tired. And I think this is some of the things that we ignore sometimes, don't we? I know I do. I ignore it. Like I'll just say, "Oh, I'm tired." No, you're probably doing too much. You're probably over worrying. You probably have not took the time for your well-being, for your mental health. We all need breaks. We all need to spend some time by ourselves. We need to be getting that rest and drinking our water and eating nutritious foods and not being around a toxic environment. And I will say that is the main thing that will drain us. Toxic environments. And it does not have to always be in your household, but most of the time it is in your household. And the only thing that you can do when you're in that environment, because I was in that environment for a very long time. When I say a very long time, I grew up in that environment of dysfunction and toxicity. And the only thing that you can do when you are around toxic people is stay in your lane and work on your own personal development. I'm telling you, if I did not work on my personal development during the times where I was feeling used and taken advantage of, and people manipulating and trying to control and all kinds of things, and the angry minded people, and it's always the people who are involved in drama in your life, and it's so taxing on your mind, on your body, on your spirit, and you're just like, enough, leave me alone. Do you all know individuals like that? That no matter what, they're always angry about something, they're always complaining about something, but they never do anything about it. It's like a person could be complaining about their job for 4 or 5 years. Why don't you get a different job? A person could be complaining about the relationship that they're in, but yet they choose to stay in that relationship. A person could be complaining about some issues, but yet they choose to continue to eat this, all this junk food. It's lots of things that we can always do, right, Motivators family? We can do something about it. We have choices that we can make. But the majority of people just want to have their ears tickled. They want the easy life. They want things to just fall in their lap. And it doesn't work that way. If you want a amazing life, if you want to succeed in this life, you're going to have to take some risk. You're going to have to cut some people off. You're going to have to speak up for yourself. And you're going to have to find yourself a support group of people who will pour into you when you don't have anything inside of you. And I'm grateful that I have a community of people who will. Okay. Hi, Kingsley. How are you? Welcome. Estad says, I was betrayed, so it took a minute to loosen my guard, and it will never subside because of what happened. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Estad. That's a tough one. I hope you get on your healing journey and things improve. Welcome, Kingsley. I appreciate you being here. Sirius says, I'm very reserved and I don't allow anyone in my personal space. I spend more time self-mastery of my life. Yes. Don't use too much time. Life might pass you up. Yes. Yes, that's true. I disperse positive energy to the people around me. The naysayer, I pray for them. I agree with that completely, everybody. And like Eastside says, he was betrayed. And that's a tough one, and that can be exhausting. I can't say I know how you feel because I'm not you, but I know what betrayal feels like when someone stabs you in the back, you know, and or doesn't appreciate you or manipulate you or did nothing but tell lies to you. Yeah, that's a tough one. But day by day, you know, you got to give yourself time. You have to give yourself room to grow, room to heal, room to be your best. So, um, the first step to feeling better is being accountable for your actions. What did I do? What did I allow? And then it's about, okay, I did not set boundaries, or I saw red flags in this and this and I ignored it. So we have to assume those, those things, but at the same time, we have to be very selective in who we let into our heart and don't let our guard down very easily. We have to, a person has to, by their actions, it takes time. It's not just right away that you trust people. And I'll tell you something, I got burned really bad, one time. And I said, that will never happen to me again, because sometimes because of your vulnerability, that you let your guard down and you trust somebody, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a business deal, you let your guard down and you trust people, and those are the individuals that they're waiting on an opportunity to stab you in your back. So, you know, don't go by the words. That's something that I definitely learned from that situation. Don't go by the words that people say. You have to go by the actions. See, people can be saying they care for you, they love you, they're here for you, but where's the action behind it? Where's the proof? The proof is in the pudding, the proof is in the results. You know, faith without works is dead. You have to, your works have to be showing up, or the math is not mathing. Okay, and if they don't do the right thing, it's time for them to be cut off. Yes, yes. Realist says, I learned there's a such thing as making yourself too accessible. Yes, it is. It's a big thing. It's a big deal too. um, I think that caused me to burn out as well. And I think that being accessible and also being a reformed people pleaser, because that used to be me. Because I'm sort of person that when I love somebody, I give my whole heart to people. And the whole thing I had to learn is that you never give your whole heart. That's a life lesson. I learned that you never give your full heart, because your full heart only goes to, you know, it goes to the most high for me. Whatever it is that you believe in, it goes to your spiritual, you know, but life lesson. Sometimes you don't know, because you think that people are gonna give you what you give them, and you keep pouring out, but it's not being reciprocated. I hope you guys are getting the message, because I don't want you guys to hurt like I have hurt. That's something that I don't think I can ever 100% ever recover from. I think I'm always going to be tainted that way. I'm always going to have one eyebrow raised around people, question everybody. And I think that's sad that when someone burns you like that. mm, yeah, it's too sad for the next people who come in your life. Um, but I do understand that, realist. Siri says, I know the feeling. It takes a while to bounce back from betrayal. It surely does. Hi, Duping Delight. How are you? Welcome. I appreciate you being here. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and amazing evening. I just wanted to come in and to say this. I only have 2 more points. It's going to be a short one today. But I did want to say that if you are feeling burned out, it's Jinx. Oh, okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Welcome back. I've missed you over here. So the thing about it is, once you know that you are feeling drained, and you can feel it, it's a pull. Like, you feel tired, all you want to do is sleep, you kind of feel grouchy, you don't feel your best. Okay, yeah. Been away with health, but been catching your replays. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. When you're feeling drained, there's always something that you can do. I want to let you all know you have the choice to choose yourself. And that's something that years ago, I didn't think I had that option. I didn't think I had the option to speak up for myself. I didn't think I had the option to say no, or to not show up, or to not just give out my money just because people are asking for your money, for your time, for your support. It doesn't mean you have to give it to them. Not everybody deserves our time. Everybody doesn't deserve access to us, like Realist was talking about. We have to not make ourselves as accessible as we do. That's something that I had to learn, because I don't know, it's just something about me. I'm just not I don't have the capacity. It's not in me to be unkind. And I've tried it. I don't know how to be unkind. I don't know how to be mean. That's just not me. And I know that it causes me to be, taken advantage of sometimes, but I feel like sometimes so be it. I'm never going to stop being good. I'm never going to stop being kind. I, I'm not. But at the same time, I have learned that the kindness, it has limits, and you have to set those boundaries, and you have to know when you're tired, and you have to learn that you don't have to explain yourself. I know that this is for somebody. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't. Hi, Wellness. How are you doing? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing amazing. Yes, healing vibes as always for the whole Motivators family. This discussion really is talking about your overall well being. We're in the second month of the year, right? Second month. How are you doing so far in 2025? Are you accomplishing your goals? Do you have goals? Do you have a positive support system and team? And if not, what can we do to change that? Because I learned from my mentors, from my therapists, they set me up to be this way. If your life is not going the way you want it to go and you're unhappy, what are you doing to make changes? Because if you keep just saying, my life isn't going good, or I don't like this about my life, and I don't like that about my life, but you're not doing anything to make a shift, it's going to remain the same, or it's going to get worse, because people will never stop using you if you keep giving things to them, if you keep showing up for them, if you keep whatever it is you're doing for them. That is toxic, because we can be a part of the reason why we're in the position we are in. It's just what it is. Yes. Yes. I love that Garden of Inspiration. Isaiah 40:30 to 31. Even you shall faint and be weary, but they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. That's what I'm saying. There has to be many sources. For me, I am a person, I go into motivation. I get motivation from reading various materials that is inspiring and positive. But also it's who I am associating with. It's the things that I listen to. I'm telling you, it matters. A lot of people don't think it's the music you're listening to, it's the TV shows, it's the music you listen to. All of that contributes to how you feel, okay? To how you feel. And if you are not feeling your best, maybe you need to rethink, what am I feeding my mind? And also, what is the self talk? And we've talked about self talk, right? Self talk is the conversation that you have with yourself. I had to learn, and I had to learn to speak out of my mouth. Marlene, you deserve to get a break. Marlene, you deserve to take a vacation. You deserve to have nice things. You deserve all those things. And I say that to you. And I didn't grow up with that. I don't know about you all. I didn't grow up getting that sort of validation, that sort of encouragement and upliftment. I always felt like I was only good for giving, but not for receiving. Now that has all turned around. I learned first that I have to pour into myself. I pour into myself. I pour into myself. And I keep on pouring into myself until I'm full. And now, when I'm full, now I can give and help people. See, before, what I was always doing, giving, giving. Hey, and people calling. I need you. I need this. I need that. Can you do this? Can you? And I would just, okay, okay, okay. And now it's, I don't know, maybe. Let me check my schedule. I'm not sure. Or definitely no, I can't do that. But for me, it was learning that I deserve to take care of me first. And the same thing for you all. I want you to say that to yourself until you believe it inside, that you can verbalize and say it. I deserve to take care of myself first. And whatever that means for you, saying no, showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself. For me, showing up for me means taking care of my health, because for me, my health is my wealth. And I didn't grow up with, like healthy, eating healthy and stuff like that. I grew up eating all the stuff smothered in gravy, and, never thinking about exercise. But we have to take care of ourselves. Of course, I'm always going to recommend that you follow the direction of your healthcare provider, your doctor, physician, okay? Because that's the first thing that you need to listen to. But also, we have to do things to take care of ourselves, because when we feel good, what do? We look good. And when we look good, what are we going to do? We're going to be motivated to do more things and take care of more things on our list. You deserve it. Whoever needs to hear that, you deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve to love yourself. You deserve it all. But we're the ones, okay? You're the one. Okay. You're the one that has to believe that. And you're the one that has to be actively pursuing your life goals, and not letting other people get in the way, not letting what other people are thinking, or even, I know for me, I get in my own head too. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. Oh, I can't afford that. So it's about removing that self-doubt too, because yes, while other people may be projecting things, we all suffer with those things of, I wonder, and we self-doubt ourselves sometimes, and negativity. Yeah, we all go through those things. But then when those things come at me, when those things come at you, that's the time you say no. No, no, no. I I replace those can'ts with cans. I replace those won'ts with will. Replace the nevers with now. Okay? I'll never forget it. I learned that from my amazing mentor and friend, and God rest her soul. She helped me with that so much. We have to do some replacing. That is a mindset shift thing. And until we're ready to mindset shift, nothing is going to change. See, I had all those tools for years. I knew about take care of yourself and rest and setback. I knew that, but it's the application. I wasn't ready to apply. So that's why I say to each and every one of you, when you're ready, and you know when you're ready, when you get full, when you get sick and tired, when you get too annoyed with the people around you, when you get sick and tired, when you get frustrated, when you have had enough with being the last option, taken advantage of, used, left out, manipulated, control, when you get full and tired of that, and enough is enough, you will start to make changes. Trust me. You'll start to make changes. Trust me. I'm positive about it, because I had to get there. Okay. And then I was ready. Let's see. What did I miss? Okay. I'm good. Now I have chosen good friends and better ones too. Oh, I'm happy for you, Jinx. That's awesome. I'm learning the Bible currently too. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Marlene, that's me to a degree. I explain things a lot when it's not necessary. I do it because I want them to understand the reasoning and not ask me later. Mhm. That's just who I am too. I tell people, for me, it's not something that somebody has, that they don't know the reason why I am acting the way I'm acting. I always tell people, and I especially tell people why I don't like something before I block them, or before I remove them from my mind and my heart. You'll know. There will be no, oh, I wonder why they don't deal with me. Oh, you know. They know. Yeah, they know. So that's a thing that is very important for us to tell people how we feel, even when they don't like it, even when they don't care. That's not for them. That's for you. That's for me. I tell people how I feel. Even if they're not listening, it does not matter to me. You don't need to listen. I have to get this out of my head and my heart so that I can be okay. You have to let people know when they hurt you, when they don't show up for you, when, you know, whenever they do X, Y, and Z, you know what those things, when they trigger one of the red flags in you. Yeah, that's when you're like, yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go. Um, People will take if you allow them to. Yes, and when you've had enough, you've had enough. Yes, that's so true. Yes, self-love and self-care is important. Yeah. And I want everybody to understand that self-care is more than just hair and nails and outfits. Self-care is your overall well-being. It's taking care of everything, your mental health, your emotional, your spiritual, your financial, everything. You're taking care of all of you because all of those things encompass you being whole. You can't separate one from another, because if your mental health is affected, your physical health is affected. Your physical health is affected, it affects your spiritual. So you can't taint one without the whole group, the whole part of your overall wellness being affected. Okay. Siri says, I speak all that into existence. Yes, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I did that for such a long time. I honestly, I honestly, guys, in all seriousness, for almost 4 years, I took care of my father when he had cancer. 4 years. I worked at night. In the daytime, I took care of my dad, back to work, and to go back to my dad, take care of work. And so it was like I felt like I was always taking care of somebody. And I burnt out really bad after my dad passed away. And I think that it was loving. It was loving on God's part for my dad to pass, because 4 years and it was just go, go, go. I was go, 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 go. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that I did, because my mind can rest now. I have an appreciative spirit because I know I did what I was supposed to as a daughter. I know I poured into him when he needed to be poured into. I'll never take that back. I'll never regret it, because it's some of my richest memories, having those conversations, and him talking about, things that we went through, and the sacrifices that he made and things like that. I got to know my father. I think at that point I got to know my father not as my dad, but I got to know him as a human being. And sometimes we don't get the experience to know people that richly. You know people on a surface level, but do you really know them? What makes them tick? What's their favorite color? What is their favorite place to travel? What's their favorite food? Like, we'll know people, but do you really know what they like, what they want to do? You know, I can say that I have been in a relationship before, and that person never knew me. Isn't that sad? And there's a lot of people who go through that. Your friends, your relatives, they don't know you. They only know you on surface level, like by just let's go out to eat and things like that. But like really getting to know who you are, what are the things that make you tick? What are the things that turn you off? They don't know those things. And I think it's very sad. I can and I will and I am. Yes. Thank you so much, Sirius, to my friend. Yes, burnout is a serious challenge, but it is also an opportunity for growth, personal reflection, and recalibration. Yes, it is. It is. It's a moment in our life when we are burning out, or if we have burnt out, it's an opportunity for us to do some real thinking. Okay, what am I doing wrong? It's the moment for us to be transparent and honest with ourselves. Be transparent with yourself. Like, don't sugarcoat things. Don't, because that's the reason why you are experiencing these issues. You need to have those tough conversations. It's probably some people you need to cut off. It's probably the people you don't want to have that conversation with, that you need to have that conversation with. You need to close some doors and cut some people off, and go where you are loved. I've done that video. I think it's one of my favorite videos that I have ever made on this channel. And I think I have it pinned on my homepage. I love that video. And it's titled Go Where You Are Loved. And I mean that. I mean everything that I said in that video, because sometimes we know we're not loved in that space. And a job, relatives, friends, partner, all these people, social media, these people are using you, taking advantage of you, don't care about you, manipulating you, lying to you. All of these things is going on. It's going to get to you, okay? But you have to be real and true to yourself. And that's the reason why I am doing what I'm doing now, shifting my life on purpose, doing some things. And I'm doing a lot of things that makes me feel uncomfortable, confronting past pain, closing doors, crossing the T's and dotting the I's of my life, really being purposeful. And that's what I want to say to all of you. Be purposeful about your life. We get one life, okay? You get one life to live. You got to do some investigating. What am I doing that fills up my cup, that brings me peace, that makes me happy? What am I doing? See, it's up to us. It's all up to us. Yes. Happy Tuesday from Wellness with Frugal Mama. Jinx says, I took out those people recently and now I'm thriving. I'm most important to my own well-being now. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I always love to hear when my motivators family comes back and they check in with me and tell me how they're making application in their life. That makes me feel so good. It makes me feel like I'm living my life with meaning, because I know before, when I was just doing just 9 to 5 and I did not have my social media and I was not doing my coaching, I don't know, this is very purifying to my soul. It makes me feel good when I can talk to somebody and give them some tips and some tools to change their life, change their mindset. Because I know when I was going through a really dark period of time in my life, I didn't see any content like this on social media. I'm not saying it wasn't there at all, but I wasn't seeing it like it's available now. So I take this channel serious. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's just social media. It's not that serious. Listen, it's that serious to me. It's that serious to me. Everything that I talk about, the things, when I share my experiences, I'm very transparent and honest about things that happened to me, things that I have been through, not because I'm looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for pity. I'm showing that I'm real. I'm human. I've been through some things, and I know that my motivators family also has been through things as well. And I want you to know that you're not alone, okay? And if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling neglected, if you're feeling taken advantage of and run over and all of those things, I want you all to know that you can do something about it to change your life. You can change your life if you want to. I remember when my therapist told me that. That made me so mad, because it takes work. It takes work to live our life on purpose and with purpose. If we want to have peace, if you want to have joy, If you want to get your control back and your power back, you have to do something that you may not want to do. You may have to cut off people, leave certain relationships, start your life over again, go after your passion in your life. You can do it, you know. I always say that all the time, not because it's something I'm reading in a book. It's something I've applied in my life. I completely shifted and changed my life. I altered my whole life, the trajectory of my life, because when I started to believe in myself, I said, you know what? There's nothing I can do, nothing I can't do. I said, you know what? I'm going to have 5 monetized YouTube channels. Right now, I have 3, working on 2 more. I'm working on my brand. I'm working on my business. I'm working on my family. I'm working on my communication because I have to be the role model. A lot of people talk about, oh, this is what you should do, but they're not applying it in their life in real time. When this app is off, when I turn this off, and the computer and the phones and all social media behind the scenes, I'm working on being a better sister, being a better auntie, being a better friend, so that when I come on here and I hit this live button, I can say X, Y, and Z because I am living it. And that's what I want to say to you all. Live, talk the talk, walk the walk, be who you say you are. And a lot of people talk about what they want and all kinds of stuff, but they're not manifesting it. Okay? Hi, Joshua. How are you doing? Welcome. Let's see. I took out, oh, okay, I read that one already. Garden of Inspiration says being a caregiver can be overwhelming at times. Oh, God bless you, Marlene, for caring for your dad. Oh, I wasn't saying it for that. I was just sharing. I was just sharing just to let you guys know about the candle being burned at both ends. And while I'm not in that zone anymore, I very much know how that felt. And you guys are always in my thoughts. I'm always thinking about what I can share to encourage and motivate all of my motivators family, because you guys are a family to me, very much. I think about some of the things that, separately, some of my motivators family is going through that they have shared privately with me. And yeah, people are having real problems. So there's a lot of reasons why um, people can be discouraged, why you can be experiencing burnout. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of worry, aggravation. Some have some real serious health problems. So people are going through a lot. Um, and I just want to tell you, be patient with yourself. Be patient. While we live in a very impatient world, no, be patient with yourself. You got to pause sometimes and say, this time is for me. And that's not being selfish. That means you love yourself. There is a big difference. People like to call you selfish when they can't control you, when they can't use you. But it's not selfish. It means you love yourself and you're making application in your life. Because I love myself, thus I do X, Y, and Z. Big difference, okay? Don't let haters, drama people try to get in your head and make you think, oh, I'm a bad person. I did want to address this too. You're not a bad person because you are taking care of yourself. You're not a bad person because you set boundaries. You're not a bad person because you won't let people use you. Okay? And sometimes I remember how that felt when I just started on my journey of working on myself. I used to feel guilty that I said no now. But don't feel guilty. Don't let people run over you, take advantage of you, just treat you like you're nothing, or especially the individuals that want to ghost you and put you on a shelf and ignore you for months or years at a time and then think that they can just pop back in your life like nothing happened. Oh, hey, like what? Who is this? Because just like they ignored you all that time and had their own life and whatever things going on, you moved on with your life as well. And they have to live with the consequences of that as well. Hey, James Money, how are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate it. Yeah, people have to deal with the consequences of their actions. And that's the thing. And it's not just me talking about other people, me too as well. As I've healed, as I've matured, I've also had to look at myself in the mirror and say, you know what, Marlene? When you did X, Y, and Z, that was grimy. That was messed up. That was not nice. That was very unkind. That was rude. That was whatever. So the shoe goes, the door swings both ways, right? It swings both ways. So, mhm, it does. So we have to take ownership. We have to be working on ourselves and making changes. And I know that it's not easy, but at the end of the day, you have to make a choice to love yourself. Okay. And it's all worth it. At the end of the day, it's all worth it. Getting your rest, having a proper diet according to what your doctor has recommended, making sure you're tapping in spiritually. I'm telling you, that has been a game changer in my life. Let me tell you something. When I tuned back into my faith, my spirituality, and I got my closeness spiritually, okay? Because I think everybody goes through some of these with their spirituality, and situations happen, and people happen, and you go through a dark period, or you're just dealing with a lot emotionally and you just feel very low. But that's the time, especially, I hope somebody hears this. That is the time, especially when you need your faith. That's the time, especially when you need to be meditating and reading your positive material and working on yourself. Okay. When things are happening to you, you need to be pouring into yourself. Okay. It's a real thing. Okay. Garden of Inspiration says some adults don't have the privilege of caring for their parents because of estranged relationships. Yes. Sarah says, come on, Marlene, speak it. I hear you. Activate your faith. Yes. I'm trying to tell you, Sirius, it's the real thing. I don't know what else to say besides that. I feel like that's the message that has been, it's been here. And it just came out my mouth. I always I don't know if you guys know this, but every time before I hit this live button, every time before I hit the button, I always say, Holy Spirit, please let me say the right words to affect the hearts, the minds, and the spirits of those who listen to me. Okay. Because I want to be a role model. I want to be a good example. I don't want to say negative things. So, yeah. So if just in case you guys didn't know, yes, I am a woman of faith. I don't talk about so many things all the time about spirituality, but I am a woman of faith, and I do believe, okay? I do believe. And I want you all to, whatever it is that you believe in, work on it. It's called cultivating your faith, okay? Vibrating higher, manifesting what you want. But sometimes the reason why we can't manifest and get to where we want to is because we're not doing what we need to do for ourselves. We're not listening to that voice in our head that tells us, you know, you're doing too much. Or that voice could be telling you you're doing too little. You're not doing enough for yourself. You're not saying no. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not using your talents and your gifts. You're not paying attention when you know people aren't using you, or when you know people aren't good for you in your life, but you choose to do what you want to do. See, There's consequences to us being saying, oh, I'm going to do what I want to. And then later on, you're like, man, why is my life so messed up? Because you're not listening to that voice in your head. I think it's you're not tapping into discernment. We know when people aren't good for us. You could feel it, you could feel that energy, like their energy is off, something is not right. Have you ever said this? I don't know, but there's something about them. Hmm. And I remember when I was younger, I never used to believe that. I used to like silence that, like, what are you talking about? Like, that's crazy. But it's not, it's a real thing. If somebody's energy is off, if somebody is, you hear one thing and then the next time they're talking about something else, like they're double talking, and you're like, you say this now, but before you said this, okay, I can't really trust you. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's all I need to know. So when you hear that, when you see that, when you feel somebody's vibe is off, okay? Or when you look and somebody says one thing, but by their actions they're showing that they're a hypocrite, careful. Because it's like I don't play about myself before like I used to when I was younger, when I didn't understand, when I didn't know who I was, when when I didn't believe in myself, when I didn't have the confidence. I didn't understand. But now I understand. I know who I am, I know who I belong to, and I know who I am here to reach. I know what I'm here to do. I know what my purpose is on this earth. So before I didn't know that, but now you can't play with me. You can't play with me. And I hope you guys do the same thing. Don't let people play with you. When you know what it is, believe that. Yes, yes, Garden of Inspiration, discernment. Yes, yes, Matthew 15:18. But what comes out of the mouth proceeds from the heart, and this defiles a person. Okay. So I just wanted you all to, think about some of these things. And to anybody who is experiencing burnouts, you're going through stuff. And sometimes the burnout is not because of what you're doing. Sometimes it's just so many things are coming at us. And if it's not one thing, it's like when this happens and this happens and this happens, and it's all happening at the same time. Take a deep breath, you know, tap into your faith, ask for guidance, think before you make decisions, and don't just do the things that other people want you to do or the things that you feel forced to do. If it doesn't feel right in here, it don't feel right, the energy is off, the vibes aren't right, or if that person is always a person asking, gimme, 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 wanting, always have their hand out, can help me, help me, help me, or they're always calling, 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 and complaining, complaining, that gets to you. You got to cut off that negative energy. The people who are always complaining, the people who aren't doing anything with their life, the people who are just settling just for the minimum. See, I'm not about that. I don't know about you, motivators family, but I'm not about that life anymore. There's no minimum. There's no just skating by. I need more than that. I hope you all need more than that. Don't let people just give you the minimum when you deserve to be treated in an excellent manner, okay? Because you are a woman or a man of high value, high worth. Know your worth, know what you deserve, and don't settle for anything less, okay? Treat yourself exceptionally, okay? Because you are exceptional, okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that something in this message has affected your head. Your heart is giving you something to think about, something for you to meditate on. I hope you take some notes. Anybody who's watching in the replay, shout out to my replay motivators. I appreciate you all. Always leave me a comment in the comment section below and tell me how you are going to do some things to fill up your cup and take care of yourself. I want to hear those things. I want to hear great things from you. I want great things to take place in your life. I want great things to take place in my life while I'm working, I'm manifesting, I also want you to work. I want you to manifest. I want you to heal. I want you to be your best. Positive vibes only. As always, high vibrations, positive vibes, elevation, healing, and motivation. I'm Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. I appreciate you for tapping in with me for this conversation. I hope you fill up your cup. I hope you get some adequate rest. I hope you calm your nerves and your energy. I hope you allow yourself to be in a space of peace and don't let people run over you, control you, manipulate you, and take advantage of you. And I hope you close those doors to the users, the takers, the manipulators, because you deserve better. Do you hear me? You deserve better. I want you to say that. I deserve better. Yes, you do. Okay. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. I'm going to be a part of the live collaboration team with a team build with Geo. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another topic. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Anybody who's watching on the replay, give me an idea for a topic tomorrow. Maybe I will cover your topic. I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a great Tuesday night. Get some rest. Fill up your cup. Take care of you. And you know what we say over here on Marlene Motivates? Just know it. Just breathe it and be it and live your best life. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Siri says, I deserve better. Yes, everyone have a blissful night. Thank you. Shout out to all my amazing mods and anybody who is in here. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.